Hello everyone, this is the second episode of Murder Stories. In the previous episode, we talked about David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, brutally murdered as they were having a secret date at a lake. We are starting to understand how the Zodiac Killer operates, but this episode is here to explain in better details. To be sure you don't miss any information and to support our work, click the follow button. Go follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Murder Stories to access more resources and exclusive content about this case. Without waiting more, put on your earpods and follow us into the intriguing story of the Zodiac Killer.
First, let's remember the situation in which the Zodiac murders took place. Between the late 60s and the early 70s, a series of brutal murders shook the San Francisco Bay Area. What made these crimes even more terrifying was the elusive personality of the killer and his perplexing methods. The Zodiac Killer primarily targeted young couples who were in their car parked at night in a secluded location, such as a parking lot or a shore of a lake. In two similar cases, the killer suddenly approached and opened fire from outside the car. In another example, he bound both members of the couple and engaged in lively conversation with them before stabbing them. The young woman died while her boyfriend survived and recounted the scene. His weapon of choice was a pistol, but he also used knives. His crimes were marked by great brutality, leaving behind a horrific crime scene. But what truly captured the public's attention was the killer's behavior outside the murders. He regularly sent cryptic letters to local media, identifying himself as Zodiac. These letters were filled with claims of murders, threats, and enigmatic messages. Despite efforts by cryptography experts, some of these letters was never deciphered, further fueling the mystery surrounding the killer's identity. Now let's discuss the investigation conducted to capture him. The killer addressed numerous letters to the press, including 4 cryptograms, 2 of which, by the end of 2020, remained indeciphered. The first one was deciphered on August 8, 1969, by Professor Donald Harden and his wife Betty, and it read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all to kill. Something gives me the most thrilling experience. It is even better than getting your rocks off with a girl. The best part of it is that when I die, I will be reborn in a paradise and all I have killed will become my slaves. I will not give you my name because you will try to slow down or stop my collecting of slaves from my afterlife." In 2020, 3 amateur detectives, 1 American, 1 Belgian, and 1 Australian, managed to decipher the D304 cryptogram sent to the San Francisco Chronicle in November '69. At the time, investigators believed that the Zodiac Killer, who was then attributed to 5 victims, might have revealed his name in this message. However, it was not the case. The identity of the Zodiac Killer, who operated in the late 60s and early 70s in California, remains a mystery. The message read, "I hope you are having a lot of fun in trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show." Which brings up a point about me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner. Because I now have enough slaves to work for me, while everyone else has nothing. When they reach paradise, so they are afraid of death. I am not afraid because I know that my new life will be an easy one in paradise. Life is death. The letters were signed with a symbol resembling a Celtic cross, a rifle sight crosshair, or the logo of the Zodiac company that manufactures watches. This mysterious symbol was also found engraved with the tip of a knife on a car door of one of the victims. Inspector Kelly Carroll, who resumed the investigation with his team in 2000, revealed that recently discovered additional evidence could reveal the complete genetic profile of the real killer. A comparison conducted in 2002 of DNA taken from envelopes sent by the killer seemed to exonerate the prime suspect, Arthur Light Allen, as the comparison did not conclusively match the DNA to the killer. Approximately 2,500 suspects were interrogated over the decades. In April 2004, the San Francisco police decided to close the case, although the killer's identity remained unknown and there is no statute of limitation for murder. The case remains open in Napa County and Vallejo. The investigation was hindered by a lack of tangible evidence and the complexity of the killer's coded messages. Despite several promised leads, no arrests were made and the Zodiac Killer remained at large. In 2004, Deborah Perez claimed that her stepfather, Guy Ward Hendrickson, who died in 1993, was the Zodiac Killer. However, as she has previously claimed to be the illegitimate daughter of John F. Kennedy, her testimony was not taken seriously. Today, decades later, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains one of the greatest mysteries in American criminal history. Theories and speculation abound, but the true identity of the Zodiac and his motive remains unknown.
Hey, it's Flavie again. Well, to be honest, there's something tickling me. Why does it send the police such messages? What's the point? Here we have again Josephine Martin and Igor Karovozov, profiler and private detective. Thank you for coming. What's your opinion, Josephine?
From a psychological expert point of view, maybe he felt ashamed of how his murders always ended up with one person staying alive and wanted to compensate.
What do you mean?
Well, on the 1st of July 1969, he tried to kill Darlene Ferrin and Michael Majo, but Michael survived, and so did Brian Hartel with 2 months later when his girlfriend died. That's 2 unsuccessful murders out of 4. Looks like he wasn't that good at killing people, since half of the time it doesn't work. I think he wanted to give himself a little depth, more serial killer material.
Personally, I think that all he wanted was to attract attention to himself. He's an attention seeker. I've seen many cases like that. That kind of man is just a poor guy with a miserable life who just tried to be more interesting than he was.
Whoa, I almost feel bad for this guy. Alright, thank you for that information, Josephine and Igor, and thank you for coming. The next episode is focusing on the various theories that emerged after the murders. Who's that guy? What was his motive? We'll find out in a few weeks.